The sixth episode of House of the Dragon season 3 is out. And in this episode, it seems like we're finally gonna get a big battle sequence. And it starts off with Christian Cole's army. It seems like they're gonna face off against the Rivermen, and it's gonna be a big fight. But that battle ends very quickly, and Christian Cole, one of the main characters throughout the show, dies instantly. I mean, his army ends up getting surrounded. Although, from what I saw, it didn't really seem like much of an army. A small group seemed more like, but the Roman army is surrounding them. They fell into a trap and they're surrounded. And Christian Cole wants a one-on-one duel with either the Stark guy or the Tully kid. But before they even answer, one of the archers shoots at him, shoots two arrows at him, then shoots one to his face, and he dies instantly. And then they attack the rest of the men, and that's all that happens. We don't even see the rest of the battle. The battle's over. Although we did get a small fight sequence before that, with a bunch of rivermen pretending to be dead, but when Christian Cole's men get close to them, they start attacking. But that didn't really last long enough. And one of the main characters being taken out like this, it's really disappointing. I feel like, whether you like the character or not, he deserved better than this. He was a great fighter. He deserved to go out in a big battle. And this, it was very disappointing. And then we head back to King's Landing, where Allison and Helena have been found. Honestly, I thought they were going to end up getting trapped there, but they were found very quickly by the guards, and now Rhaenyra has to deal with her. And Allison tells Rhaenyra about Helena's child, which is a big risk, but she tells her. And now she's deciding to lock them in their room, not let them out at all, because she's afraid someone might see Helena with the child, and that could cause problems. And then we see Daemon dealing with his men getting killed in that dinner-style executions thing, and he wants revenge, but Rhaenyra is holding him back. And then later on, the rest of the City Watch, they decide to quit because their men are getting killed and they're not getting paid because of everything that's going on. And it's just not worth it to do the job anymore. And they tell Daemon that they're quitting, and Daemon tries to convince them not to quit, but it doesn't really work. And you can't really blame them, considering everything that's going on. So Daemon's all alone. His men are gone. And then we see Rhaenyra having to deal with the problems in the city because the City Watch is now gone. There's a lot of chaos going on. A lot of bad things happening. A girl got taken. And she doesn't really have any answers because she can't really do anything. She's kind of stuck. And then we head to Harrenhal, where Aemond is now well enough to leave and he wants to go find his dragon, but the witch, Alice Rivers, I think, she doesn't want him to leave. She wants him to stay with her. And she tries to convince him about this. Maybe there's something bigger going on here. And it's interesting because in the previous season, I thought she was kind of a messenger type of person to tell everyone what's going on, to guide them, but seems like she has her own interests as well. And she shows him a bunch of dragon eggs that have just been at Harrenhal for a long time, and it belonged to Dreamfire. And I'm wondering, are these the dragon eggs that Daenerys is gonna get in Game of Thrones? I thought the dragon eggs that she was gonna get were the ones that were sent to Essos along with her children. So I'm a bit confused by it. But these are Dreamfire's eggs, and Daenerys' dragons do come from Dreamfire. So that's what's going on there. And then in another corner we see Aegon just sitting there, and the Lannister guy and Laris, um, they're hiding the body of the guy that Aegon killed. And Aegon asks the Lannister guy as well if Aegon's a bad person. And honestly, I thought he just lie and say that he was a fantastic person, but even he was hesitant to lie, and that uh, kind of, well, Aegon, he says that then they can go to Essos, because if ever nobody likes him, then what's the point of staying here? So that's what's going on there. And then we see Hugh Hammer going back to Templeton. Oh yeah, and before that, there is a assassination plot to take out Daeron Targaryen, and Rhaenyra sent a bunch of men that are dressed as Baratheon men. But the other Hightower, Gwen Hightower, I think, he's back in Templeton now because he left Kristen Cole's army because he found out that Kristen Cole was gonna get everyone killed, and that was the right decision. They all got killed very easily. So he's back at Templeton, and while he's there, he recognizes that these aren't Baratheon men, and before they get a chance to kill Daeron, him and the guards attack her and take them out. And the other, Ormond Hightower, he just stands there shocked. I mean, he's acting like this very great leader and all that, but he didn't really do any fighting, and after they're all killed, he throws up. So, is he really a leader or anything? I mean, even Daeron didn't throw up, but he threw up. But yeah, that's what happens there, and we see Gwen Hightower and Daeron talking about how Ormond is and how he's not really a great person, and what he's gonna do with Daeron. And Daeron doesn't want any part of it, but he has to play along. And after seeing this guy, it does make sense. So that's what's happening there. And then we see Hugh Hammer finding a way to sneak into Templeton as a trader, and he finally finds his wife. But after she finds out that what he's been doing all this time, she doesn't want anything to do with him because she was left alone. She had to travel to Templeton alone, and a lot of bad stuff happened to her on the road, apparently. So yeah, she isn't really all that great. Just glad to see him after she found out what he was doing. So he's stuck in a position where he doesn't know what to do. I mean, he did all this for his wife, but his wife suffered while he was away, and she's really upset. And then we see all he wants to go and hang out with his friends, do the normal stuff, but he isn't allowed to. And while he tries to sneak away, he finds Daemon, and Daemon hits him and pushes him to the ground and kind of humiliates him. And that's not good either. Oh yeah, and there's this other thing with Corlys' son, Alan, and Baela, and they end up kissing, but isn't Baela, isn't Alan her uncle? I know this show and all the family stuff that happens in it, but this kind of came out of nowhere. And now I have a suspicion that Adam might be into her as well, with the way he was talking in the previous episode. So yeah, that happens. It didn't really feel necessary, but it happens. And yeah, this is all that happens in the episode. Now, the episode by itself, it was an interesting episode. A lot of stuff did happen. Oh yeah, and Rhaenyra at the end of it decides to send Alicent to Harrenhal to bring out Aemond because Helena has seen him there, and Alison tells Helena that, then she believes it. So Alison's gonna go to Harrenhal with a few guards to draw him out or bring him back or whatever. But yeah, overall, it was a good episode, but in terms of action, we didn't get anything. But compared to the previous episodes, it was a bit more interesting. Felt like a lot more was going on, so it's an okay episode. But again, we're not getting the fights, and there's only 2 episodes left. And I'm guessing the big battle will probably happen in the next episode. I don't think it's gonna be happening in the last episode. The last episode will probably be dealing with the aftermath of the big battle, and the battle will probably be at Tumbleton. And I feel like everything that's going on with Hugh and all of it is kind of setting that up in this episode. So yeah, another okay episode, I guess.